My people, it's about that time.
Like a boss.
Live from USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today is Super Bowl Sunday, the granddaddy of them all. We are looking at the correlation between the greatest spectacle in our modern society and accumulating as much wealth as possible, compliments of the greatest transformational wealth in the history of humanity, courtesy of BTC. So if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as the Crypto Trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you can profit as a result, and today is no exception. So if you haven't done it already, smash that like button, subscribe, come on in. The doors are always open. And now let's go ahead and make this money. As I said, destined for greatness. We have two of the greatest teams of our generation lining up against each other once again. This is almost a rematch from the last Super Bowl a few years ago. And Kansas City and Philadelphia will be heading off. One of these will go down as a great accomplishment. The other, a close and mere second. I'll get to my prediction at the end of this video, but I just wanted to let you know that this will be a great game. You know, all intents and purposes, is going to be a lot of touchdowns, a lot of, high-flying plays and drives, and probably a missed field goal or a fumbled sack, that makes the difference. Maybe a pass interference that didn't get called, but all in all, it's just entertainment. When you look at the end of the day, it's merely a distraction for the masses to give us an outlet to express and expose and dispel energy. Right, and I used to do this video back in the day while you were distracted. I don't think it's necessarily a distraction, but it is entertainment. So, I grew up playing this game. Like, football changed my life. I was, one of the most sought after athletes getting recruited from coast to coast. I had $1 million in scholarships before I turned 18. Took a full ride at the University of Wisconsin, went up there as one of the most winningest classes in the history of that school. Lettered 4 years, lined up against Joe Thomas every day for 4.5 years. And I'm the reason he was so good. You know what I'm saying? I had to give Joe a show every day. So I'm used to my putting in work in the trenches, and it changed my life for the better. And now my field has evolved to that which is financial analysis. And so this is the game that I suit up on every day. But I think it's going to be an amazing game. Shout out to the athletes that have dedicated their lives to, pursue excellence on the field. And, their efforts have been handsomely rewarded. What does this have to do with Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin, just the same as Jalen Edwards or Mahomes, is destined for greatness. I've been telling you since Bitcoin was $500, $600, $700. The name of the game: accumulate as much BTC as fast and as often as possible. And this is how we do it. We view it on a statistical forecast and analysis called the Boss Method. And when you do this, it basically triangulates the energy, polarizes it upon itself, and allows you to see the breaks when the next breakout or breakdown is most likely to happen. This is why I really like this chart right now. Essentially, you have a very, very, very long Fibonacci. This is a year long from January 03 to January 24. First of all, that jump right there is huge. It went from 17,000 to 42,000, right? And then it jumped up. So when you pull a Fibonacci on those bands, you basically get the extension that we're running into right now. And then it jumped up to like 68, 70, all the way back down to 56. And so this range is very common in crypto. It'll jump up 60%, crash 30%, balance out at 0, and jump back up another 70, right? So I say all that to say, don't be surprised if Bitcoin continues to take a little break here. We peaked out at 103. Even if we tap 90,000, You know, from 103, that looks like a huge deficit. But when you see what's normal to the trend is inside this bubble right here. See, it just did it. You know, from 68 to 52, back up to 108, right? And so this is a multi-month consolidation trend that we're sitting in right now. I would say even block out these lines right here. Most people will say if it falls through the bottom of that, the trend is broken. Well, that's not necessarily the case, because what's happening is the whales are buying it up by the droves. That solid gray line back there, this represents the industrial level of attention. Like, how much are the billionaires interested in buying this commodity? So you can have a situation where, say, the short sellers or the day traders or the hedge funds sell it off, but then the whales come up, buy it back, and then it keeps running, right? I think that's what we have. It's literally destined for greatness. This is one of the best, I won't say the best, one of the most auspicious times in recent memory. I think when I looked at the chart, I think one moment reminded me of this time right here, when Bitcoin was about 6,000, I want to say. No, it was about 10,000, 11, 12,000, and it fell to like 3,800. And I was like, guys, this is the best chance we have. What are we doing? Mortgage a house, buy BTC, go long. So even if we sell off to, say, 85, that's not the tell-all, end-all for this chart. We finally have a presidential elect, now sworn in office, that has advocated for blockchain. We have Elon Musk running Dogecoin and auditing the IRS, proving, therefore, the impacts and implications of interweaving blockchain technology and dissipating it into society. This is what we've been waiting on. I've told you since the early days of 2019, every time you see a QR code, you know what I'm saying, the US PS, post office QR code, like every letter I get in the mail now basically has one of those little QR codes on it. Every package you get from Amazon has a QR code on it. This is blockchain technology in society. That QR code, whatever it's doing, tracking a package, taking you to a website, signing you up for another service, on the background, that can be run on blockchain. Like Bitcoin's wallet is a QR code. So they're literally synonymous. And the more you see blockchain utilized in modern society, the more you will see the original prototype of such said technology increase in its value. This is a global transition. I comparing it to being able to go and buy Visa, in the early 2000s, right? People forget back in the day, you could pick up a full stack of Visa for less than $20. You know what I'm saying? Can't even fill up your car for $20, but you could get you a stock of Visa now is up to $205. I think we're watching the materialization of a new global money network. Bitcoin is a store of value, but then you have coins like Solana, like XRP, which are built to move money around the world much faster and cheaper and more effectively than they're being moved today. I compare Solana to Visa. Like this is the new payment network of the blockchain, right? Until something comes out that's better, you got Solana to replace Visa, and you got XRP to replace the Swift network. And between the two of them, it's a lot of money that's gonna come flowing, right? Because those are the two gateway protocols for the largest liquidity pools in the world. I think when you go and look at crypto bubbles, this is buying season. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is negative. 80%, 90% of the market is down on BTC month over month. You got coins like Pepe down 46%, Hashgraph 20%, Sandbox. You're talking about the metaverse. You're talking about gaming. You're talking about DeFi. Down 40% month over month. This is when you want to start buying, right? I've told people, like Warren Buffett said it a long time ago. You do the opposite of what the masses are doing. If the masses is selling, you better be looking at buying, right? And because the market has essentially run dry on the altcoins, Bitcoin has done amazing, but 90% of the altcoins are down. What 90% or more on BTC over the past 2 years. Like even Tron, TRX, take it back from the 2018 high. This thing is down probably 70%. Come on, give it to me. There you go. Right? 76%. It's crazy how I know that. Like my eyes just see it, right? So these are the opportunities. You got a lot of talented coins, a lot of money to be made. Binance is still struggling. Maybe they're gonna have to call CZ out of retirement once he get off parole. Like who knows what's gonna happen? But we do have a transition upon us, people, right? This one of the materializations happening in the ether right now. It's a new year, lunar new year, the year of the snake. Just happened 2 weeks ago. It's all about shedding the bad energy. The snake is expected to bring about what? Transformations and what? New beginnings. What does that sound like when you look in the world of fiscal policy and macro government? This is talking about global economies. We are shedding the old, birthing the new. And what people don't realize, like because it is harmonic, when a snake swims in water. Let's see what else they say about this real quick. Yeah, shedding toxicity and personality and character traits, right? An auspicious sign of inner work. Lord knows I've been doing that. Finally on the other side. And it's incredible, right? It's a wood snake, right? In Taoism, the wood is a sign of returning to one's natural state or true nature. In Confucianism, it symbolizes becoming a more polished person, letting go for growth, right? And that's why I said a lot of times we gotta cut this negativity. I love this game, but we gotta recognize it for what it is, a paid solicitation of attention. And it's like Hunger Games back in the day when that one dude was sitting on the hill and he was talking to homegirl with the bow, and he was like, what happens if everybody just stopped watching? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally the exact same scenario, but don't nobody want to hear that. Everybody love their football, so you know what I'm saying? Let's cheer for some touchdowns. But when a snake swims in water, it actually forms a perfect sine wave, because a snake is literally just like one extension of itself, right? So I think it represents harmony. It represents the balance, and what we're seeing in real time, it represents the transition of one form to another. Money, cash is a liquid asset. That means we can compare it to water. That's why my methodology works so efficiently and effectively. I took a lot of thermodynamics, a lot of fluid mechanics. I got 6 years of calculus running in the back of my mind, and this thing basically allows you to predicate energy. Think of it as Bernoulli's equation for statistical forecasting, and really separates the different layers of strata or water in these charts. So it's an amazing time to start buying. I would definitely recommend starting scooping up some of these altcoins. I will normally say hold off until they're winning on the boss method, but like I said, Solana, this is buying season. Like the industrials are buying it up, and it's flat up here. That's a two-step, right? That just means at any given time it's gonna break out for another 20-30%, and you got one of the top 10, top 5 coins in the market on sale at a bargain. I said it's prime time prices at prime time real estate at flea market prices. So it's a lot of signs pointing to an amazing 2025. I think we're off to a very interesting start already. I think a lot of things are happening all over the world that kind of predicate the moment, but as long as we stay grounded, we stay humble, we stay true, we stay focused, we stay intentful and insightful, then the inevitable becomes not only feasible, but quite plausible. And that's what we're seeing today as a part of the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of humanity. Bitcoin is only $96,000. You can get you a brand new Bitcoin fresh off the chain for 96 grand, but you can't buy you a 2025 Mercedes-Benz for that much. 2025 Mercedes-Benz running, what, like 120? You know? S-Class? 120? Right? I don't even think they put the prices on the front page. You got to click through to see that. How much is a Mercedes-Benz? 118, 129. There you go. Right? So we still got a ways to go before they even become comparable. People buying that every day. You know what I'm saying? They happy paying $120,000 for a Mercedes-Benz brand new that's gonna drop 40% the day they buy it off the lot. Right? So understand, like, it's all relative. You got the best financial vehicle in the history of humanity available, cheaper than a Mercedes-Benz, and it's not going to be that way for long. So there you go, everybody. With that being said, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay, Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss.
Huh. Like